Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, as well as international education advisor, coming live to you from Hamilton in New Zealand. Like every week, I come live on Facebook and YouTube twice a week. And I like to sit here and answer questions from all of you eager and young and talented people from different parts of the world who want to consider coming to New Zealand to, study here or migrate here or do investments and business and different aspects of migration that you're looking at in New Zealand. So I sit here week after week based on the power of that license of mine that's called an immigration advisor's license. I also have something called a wallet card, which I always have it in my wallet. So as per law, because I'm licensed by the government of New Zealand, where I'll need to let you guys know that I'm actually licensed to be able to give out immigration advice concerning New Zealand. And probably that's a good place to start today. A lot of people are desirous of getting advice to go to different countries, including New Zealand. And a lot of you must be wondering, who do I go to? Should I go to a particular company, or should I go to a particular individual, or should I go to the government of New Zealand? Should I go to the immigration department directly of New Zealand? So there are this concern is always there at the back of your mind, and which is where the government came out of New Zealand came out with a law called the Immigration Advisors Licensing Act, where anybody who is giving advice about immigrating to New Zealand has to have this license. And to get this license is not easy, guys. I had to first undertake that course there. You see that one? It's called the Graduate Certificate in New Zealand Immigration Advice. So I had to study it. It was quite tough. It was a very full-on legal kind of a thing. So learned it, and then I had to give my police clearances to the government, and then eventually they said, okay, cool, this person is now knowledgeable and has got good clean record to be able to provide advice. So if you guys are looking for advice to go to New Zealand, always seek out a licensed advisor. Of course, if you're watching this, we would love it if you come to us, my company and the rest of my team. We are called AJV Services. We are about 30 people. We are based in 3 different countries, based in New Zealand. The company is, of course, a New Zealand company. We are based in Hamilton, but we also have offices in India, as well as a presence in Dubai as well. In fact, right now, one of our senior managers is working out of America. She's in US right now. Another one of our managers is working out of Thailand. I'm based in New Zealand. There's a team in India. There's somebody in Dubai. So we're pretty much, becoming 24/7 accurate and licensed. So talk to us with confidence. Right. Let's get started looking for some questions and answers. If you guys have questions to ask about New Zealand immigration or education and how the whole thing fits in, I'd be happy to answer them for the next 1 hour. That's what I do week after week. A few people have joined in and said hello. Hello to everybody. And guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to ask some questions, please come on to the Facebook page. Come into Facebook and search for NZ Immigration Advisor. That is the page on which it is going live on Facebook. And for those of you on YouTube, I would request you to come there because it's kind of difficult for me to toggle between both the screens and keep looking at questions between both the screens. So request you to also come to Facebook and search for NZ Immigration Advisor. So it is facebook.com/NZ Immigration Advisor. All right, cool. And happy to answer all your questions. And there have been quite a few questions actually over the last 1 week because there is a situation in New Zealand where the government is now trying to crack down on some of the numbers that are coming in terms of migration. In fact, George Jacob Taza Tekudi just now has posted a link from one of our leading news portals called stuff.co.nz. And it says quite clearly that government changes visa rights to crack down on migrant exploitation. The only, I think, misleading part in that headline is that it is not a new rule yet. The government has only asked for consultations from different stakeholders who are involved with New Zealand education. And so I think that headline is slightly misleading because it says government changes visa rights. It has not been changed yet. It is being discussed. So what the government has done is, I think on the 5th of June, which is 3 days ago, they asked for they released an official news bulletin stating, look, we are considering certain changes to the immigration rules pertaining to international students, and we would like different people to send their consultations and their thoughts and processes on this. And it's a public consultation, so even you guys who are watching can actually go to that and uh, Meher from YouTube is also asking the same question, so I'm answering this. So you guys can also share your views and thoughts as as future migrants to New Zealand, as future international students to New Zealand. We all have a right. You have a right as a future international student and a future migrant coming to New Zealand. You can share your views. Just search for it, or I can team just give me that link quickly to the consultation so that I can post it here in the Facebook page, or you can post it. So give your views about it. So it is not a new rule yet. It is only being thought of being changed. And as I reiterated last time, as I said last time, rather, in my last live session, the previous government, which was called the national government, already changed the rules quite significantly around, I think, August or September of last year. So there was already a pretty big tweak in the rules. And now this government, it's called the Labour government. The previous one was called the national government. This government kind of came to power on a we will reduce immigration kind of a platform. So what they're doing is by trying to come out with this new rule, they're trying to cut down on the number of international students who are coming to New Zealand. But it's not just about cutting down international students, guys. They are trying to cut down on international students who are coming for lower level courses. That's all they are trying to do. So, in fact, if you analyze these changes, proposed changes clearly, if you're coming for a level 8 or a level 9 or a level 10 course, which is a postgraduate diploma or a master's or a PhD, you're actually getting a much bigger advantage or benefit if the new rule actually does take place, because they're saying then they'll give 3 years open work visa with no connection to an employer, which means you're free of any a pressure from an employer. So I think it is a good rule for them. I think the only problem is with the graduate diploma level 7, because in the proposed new rule, anybody who is coming to do a level 7, which is not a degree, like a 3 years bachelor's, will be given a 1 year work visa provided they've studied for 2 years. But there is an inherent problem in the suggestion, because most graduate diplomas are only 1 year courses. So overnight, these institutions cannot suddenly make the graduate diplomas into 2 years. So I don't think it's going to happen. So and today, in fact, I got a couple of calls from some of the institution senior managers. We were having a chat in the afternoon today, and we had a nice, long, robust discussion about it. So I don't think attacking the graduate diplomas is a very wise move for the government, because I personally think the graduate diploma or the graduate certificate is actually, I think, is a very good level. And as I keep saying, there, right there behind me is a level 7 graduate certificate in New Zealand immigration advice, and it equipped me with so much knowledge. So it is actually a good level course. And the other interesting thing about the graduate diplomas is it's actually meant for people who already have a graduation. So in some ways, in my head, it was almost like a postgraduate course. So there is a very interesting conundrum. It's a very how a counterintuitive kind of a situation with the graduate level 7. But coming back to the point I made, if you guys have made up your mind to come to New Zealand and you're ready with your visa docs or your file is already in progress, do not stop this process, because these changes are going to take time. The consultation, the call for consultations is going on till the end of this month. After that, they will have to take all those responses and collate them and check how many are genuine. There'll be thousands of them that come in. They'll have to read through everything. So it's going to take some time. It's going to take a few months for sure. And in those few months, I don't want you guys to say, "Oh, let me sit back and see how this thing is going to pan out, and then I'm going to make my move forward." I don't think it's a good idea, because more than likely this will take a long time. So don't stop your process just because there is a likely change. It may happen, may not happen. I've said this before. And the international education industry is also a very strong lobby here in New Zealand. It's a massive industry. It's the fourth largest industry, $4.5 billion of earning. So they're going to push back as well. So the immigration department or the minister is going to push for change. The education industry and ministry is going to push not to change. So in that two departments pushing against each other, it's going to take a lot of time. You guys should not become spectators. You guys continue with your whatever plans you've made, and whoever arrives here before the law changes, if it changes, will still be applicable under the old law. So nothing to worry. Business as usual. Okay, cool. Now let's say if some questions have come in. A few questions have come in. Right. Ankit Vagela says, hello, I got my offer letter for level 7 data analytics from MIT on Wednesday from AJV team. Shall I still look it for level 8 IT courses, or it's safe to go with my current choice? As I said, Ankit, if you have not started your process yet and you really want to wait and see, then no problem. You can wait and do it for the February intake for a level 8, provided you get the required IELTS score for that level 8. But my honest opinion, I don't think you have to wait. I think you should just go ahead with it. Uh, Again, I mean, it's not easy for me to suggest saying, yeah, definitely do it or definitely don't do it. If you have not started your visa process and you want to wait for some time and do it, yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea. You could wait for a little while. But if this consultation goes on till February of next year, what are you going to do? You will have to take a call at some point. So it's a difficult one to answer. But if you have the required IELTS score to be able to get into a level 8 right now, not a bad idea. Change it right now so that you're in the safe zone right now. But if you don't have that required IELTS score, which is 6.5, with no score less than 6 to get into a level 8, then, consider going ahead with this. But it's a very difficult one for me to answer, because if you do come on a level 7 and then 5 or 6 months later it changes. But bear in mind, if you're coming on a level 7, even for 1 year, under the old rule, you will still be eligible for the 1 year work visa. So this is a decision that you will need to take based on your circumstances and your IELTS score. Okay. Okay. Pratap Gali asks, sir, let me know how are the job opportunities for IT in New Zealand. Pratap, as I keep, there is actually a nice video I made and put it up on YouTube. It is there on YouTube. It says, I think it says, how are the ICT job opportunities in New Zealand? Information technology, or ICT as it's called, Information and Communication Technologies, is in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. It's also one of the identified future growth areas of New Zealand. So we have a massive requirement for a good information technology professionals in this particular industry. And as I keep saying, who better than international students who come study, understand the situation and the country and the work ethos and everything else, and get into it. So overall, good choices and good opportunities in information technology, Pratap. So if you're considering it, please talk to our team. Our team will also connect with you. Just bear in mind that direct work or direct residency to New Zealand is almost impossible when you're not present in the country, because that's a very complex way of being able to reach that point where you can get residency. And the way to do it is come in as an international student, do a good course from a good college, and then get that post-study work visa, and then find a job relevant to the course you've completed. And that will more than likely give you the required number of points to be able to make a resident visa application. All right. Cool. Anna Cheryl Shaji has joined. Hi, Anna. Hope you're doing well. Anna is one of my clients, and it was a very nice, interesting case. We fought with Anna and her wonderful family. Hope you guys are doing well, Anna. Query from Ram Ariel from YouTube. What are the scope of Bachelor of Applied Management in Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International College, and how is that course in terms of future perspective? Please tell me, sir, how good is that course? Again, Ram, I've made a video and that sits on my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob New Zealand, and you should be able to see that video. But to give you the gist of that video, if you're coming for something and applied management, my strong recommendation to people who are coming for management courses to New Zealand is it's good if you have some prior experience, because unlike technical skills like IT or 3D animation or laboratory science, it's not something you do with your hands. Management is something which you do mostly here and with experience. So my recommendation for people coming in for uh, applied management is that you should ideally have some experience. My team also tells me, Ram, that you're unable to work with us, which is a pity, because if you were working with us as an AGV student, we would also have provided you a lot of onshore support after you reach here, especially to find jobs. So we work with our students to provide CV formats, cover letter formats. We network them with some of our old students who already are settled down as citizens and residents and workers, and that helps quite massively. In fact, about 3 weeks back, I introduced two of our students to another one of our students who is now working as a recruitment consultant. So imagine that great benefit you will have if you come as a New Zealand as an AJV student to New Zealand, because we will hook you up with recruitment consultants and various other things. So try and consider if you can change your agency, Ram, and work with us, because, like I said, your agent in Nepal can only get you your admission and visa. He will not be able to do anything for you after you reach New Zealand. But all our students who come to New Zealand through AGV, they get not only all that wonderful support back in their own country, but after they reach here, they get even more support. So please think about this carefully, guys. You're making a very big investment, and you need to have proper guidance and advice and coaching after you reach here. So do not land here through somebody else and then later, crib about it and say things like, "Oh my God, I really should have gone with this guys at that time." So be very careful about that. Okay, Pedro Kiwiman asks, nice name, Pedro Kiwiman. Pedro Kiwiman, very nice. Is there a chance that government will change the SMC 160 points to 140 points by end of June? Only when pigs fly, Pedro. No, I don't think so. I think coming down to 140 will open up the floodgates like crazy, because at 140, a lot of people will qualify for to migrate to New Zealand. And all this point system and everything is done after very serious consultation amongst bureaucrats with industry and everything else. So I don't think, Pedro, I don't think 160 points will come down to 140, because it'll become crazy. It'll become absolutely crazy. And Pedro, my team also tells me that you're already speaking to one of one my team members. So fantastic. Continue to speak to us. Don't worry about those points, 160 or 140. That comes about 2 years down the road for you. Focus right now on your admission, on your visa, in getting into New Zealand, settling down with our help, doing your course successfully, doing it really well, pass it, get the post-study work visa, get a job. We are there to assist and guide you. And then at that point, we will see how many points are being offered or required for the skilled migrant category. So we will take it at that point. All right. But nice name, Pedro, by the way. Vishal Mudiraj says, hi, sir. I've completed my intermediate with 83%, and I want to study hospitality management in New Zealand. Recently, I have completed my IELTS exam, and overall band is 5.5. So please explain me the process to study in New Zealand. Okay. Vishal, first and foremost, I hope you're working with your with the AJV team, because we would absolutely love to help you. With 5.5 and IELTS, your chances come down quite significantly, because you need at least a 6 to be able to get into a decent level course. So we would like to talk to you about it. But at 5.5, possibly, if you're looking at a bachelor's, let me bring that up quickly. If you're looking at a bachelor's, well, I would think then no, even for a bachelor's, you still require an academic score of 6 with no band less than 5.5, Vishal. So if you're serious about doing a hospitality bachelor's in New Zealand, because you're just completing your intermediate, and 83% is very good, well done. And hospitality is a good course choice in New Zealand, because, as I keep saying in all my videos and live chats, tourism is our largest industry here in New Zealand. And when millions and millions of tourists are coming into New Zealand, we need hospitality professionals. We need chefing professionals. We need, because our tourists need to be fed, our tourists need to be accommodated, our tourists need to have activities. So a lot of hospitality professionals and tourism professionals and cooking professionals are required. So your course choice is good. New Zealand as a country choice is very good because, as I told you, tourism is our largest industry. So you will learn in a live environment of real tourism and real hospitality. Your concern is 5.5 in your IELTS. So I would suggest have a chat with our team, and we will recommend how we can probably increase it or decrease it, and then increase your IELTS and be able to get into the right level of course. So please connect with the team, Vishal. But good course choice, good country choice. Uh, Excuse me, IELTS is a concern, but good percentage in inter. So talk to us. We will see how we can do that. Jinto Cherian wants to know, give your Indian office number. Jinto, we have, I think, about 24 or 25 people right now working in India in different parts of across India. We don't have one single office. Just so that you're all aware, most of our team works from home offices just like mine here. So this is my home office that I work from. I do all my work from here. So what we do is, because we are about 25 people across India in different parts of India. So what we do is we connect you to the nearest available person, and most of our business is transacted online through phone, Skype, email, Facebook. We're also creating our own app, by the way. We are about to create an app and give it to all our students, so that you'll be able to scan your documents and send it to us, and we're kind of plugging that into a CRM and stuff like that. So what I would suggest, Jinto, is share your contact number and your location, and we will connect the nearest officer to you. If you want to meet the person, I mean, also possibly you could probably have a meeting, but by and large, we discourage personal meetings because the way we are building AJB is we are in the education and migration industry. So you guys don't actually meet the admissions officer at the university. It all happens on email. You don't actually meet the visa officer who grants your visa. That all happens on email and phone. So if you don't meet your admissions officer and your visa officer, why do you have to meet the person processing your application, right? I mean, I sit here right here at this table in this office, and I processed hundreds of applications, and I've not met more than 3 or 4 of these people in person. So don't worry about it. Just share your number, and we will connect you to our nearest officer, right? Woo. Soundarya Ramesh. Hi, sir. I'm from a banking background, planning to study in New Zealand. Please suggest if it is good to study in a university or a diploma which has a better scope for job opportunities. Good question, Soundarya. Again, New Zealand is a sort of environment where a potential employer doesn't care really so much about your whether you've been to a university or to an institute of technology or to a private training institution. Nor do they care so much about the levels of your courses. I mean, even if you are a master's or whatever, I think what is important is that you come to a good institution, whether it is a university or an institute of technology or a private training establishment. And also what your background is and what your percentage is and what you are planning to do in future and what papers appeal to you, because the institution choice will depend largely on the course choice. If you have a specific uh, papers in mind. Like for instance, you might be a person who wants to do specifically study, do some papers in electronic banking, for instance, and that may not be there in every particular institution. So what we like to do with our students is, before we tell you whether you should go to a university or whether you go to an institution, we like to ask you what is your real interest, what is your real future plan and goal, and then we talk to you. We actually spend a lot of time with each one of our students, and we are like doctors. We don't straight away say, okay, there is this medicine for you and give it to you, till we spend a lot of time in trying to understand what is the problem and what is the situation and what could be a possible solution for it. So that's the way we do it, Sandhya. But you already have a banking background, so I'm assuming you have some work experience, which is good. Banking is quite strong in New Zealand, and yeah, so financial sector is doing quite well here. So whether you study in a university or a diploma depends on what papers you want to opt for or what outcomes you're looking for. And I don't know whether you're married or not married, and whether you're planning to come with your family. So the level of course will also come into place because of that. So I would suggest talk to us and we will customize a solution for you which perfectly fits your situation. All right? Okay, Soundarya. Okay, Ankit again asks, also my courses for October 2018 intake. Please consider my last comment about October intake. Ankit, if you're already set to come for October, to the best of my analysis, to the best of my knowledge, the rules will not change before October. This is what, June. So June, July, August, September, October. They may change, they may not change. So on the day you land in New Zealand, and your start is when the rule applies. So by the time, if you are, but I don't think they will be so silly to not be able to pass on the advantage to people of the old rules to whoever has already processed their visa. So yours is quite a dicey case, and if you have not started your process yet, and if you're really, really still wondering whether I should do it or not, then I would suggest wait and watch. And if you don't have the required IELTS to get into, the level 8, then you could perhaps work on it. So, okay, let's simplify this. If you have not started your visa process, wait. If you have already started your visa process, go for it. That's my recommendation. Karishma Singh asks, after completion of level 7 in logistics, can I go for level 8? Of course, you can, Karishma. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing to prevent you from going from level 7 to level 8. In fact, but I wouldn't recommend to do it immediately. I would say if you're already in New Zealand, finish your level 7, take the post study work visa for 1 year, get some work experience, maybe earn some money, and then you go into level 8, because once you complete level 8, then you will still be eligible for a second post study work visa. So, yeah, absolutely, you can do it, but no, I'm not sure whether you're already in New Zealand or you're gonna come soon. So if you're already in New Zealand, connect with us. We would like to help you, talk to you, and speak to you. We are about a team of 3 people right now in New Zealand, and there's going to be another person joining us very shortly. Guys, we're gonna have a very senior immigration professional joining us very shortly in New Zealand. She's going to be joining our team, so we are very excited about it. And so I'm a licensed immigration advisor. Mary, our senior manager, who lives about 10 minutes from here, she's about to get her license. And then there's another third person who's joining us, who's a senior immigration official, who is now kind of decided to take a career break. And so we've offered her a job, and she's likely to come and work for us. So, yeah, it's very exciting. So we are a full set of professionals here in New Zealand to continue to give you advice. Okay. So, Karishma, please do connect with us, and we would love to help you out. Manohar Mani, my 12th completed in 2014. Now I want to study bachelor's in New Zealand. Very good decision, Manohar. I like people who want to come for bachelor's for 2, 3 different reasons. One, a bachelor's is 3 years. So you get to spend 3 years in New Zealand, which is fantastic. In 3 years, you'll become like a full on Kiwi man. So, you will absolutely understand the country, the systems, the structures. You'll more than likely become like a Kiwi yourself. So after you finish those 3 years, and especially if the new rules kick in, I think you'll get 3 more years of a work visa. So 3 years of a bachelor's from a good institution in New Zealand with a 3 year work visa in your hand, and you've changed, as an individual, you've become part of New Zealand, and understand the system very well. You created a network of people. You're working with a company like AJV, so we're always there. So fantastic decision, Manohar. If you can afford to study 3 years for bachelor's in New Zealand, great idea for all the reasons I mentioned. Speak to our team, and we'll tell you what IELTS you require, where you can apply, which city you must go to, what options you can look at, and give you various options. Okay, so please do connect with us. Right, Fernando Jamalonso. Hi, I am from Singapore. How about prospect in pharmaceutical and medical device industry? Now, I'm not sure if you're asking about work, Fernando, because I haven't heard of a lot. I don't think there is a massive pharmaceutical industry in New Zealand, because New Zealand manufactures little or nothing, by the way, guys. So if I go, I'm checking out our biggest, what do you call, job website called Seek, and there isn't a lot of action happening around pharmaceuticals, to the best of my knowledge. When I put pharmaceutical into seek.co.nz, which is one of our largest job websites, there seem to be certain results coming out. But frankly, as a guy who lives in New Zealand, I haven't heard a lot of action around pharmaceutical and medical device industry. So I may not be the right person to answer about it. Please do some independent research. But you know what? Connect with our team and we will do that research along with you. And in case there is a possibility, we will tell you how we can create your pathways. All right? Cool. Aman Phillips. Aman Phillips says, Sir, I scored overall 6 band. Lowest one was in reading, 5 band. I have done PGDM. Kindly tell me, kindly tell me, will I get the admission or for which course? Aman, you don't have to ask me twice. Once is enough. Just joking. But your 6 band with now, I think your 5 is going to be a problem, Aman, because you got a 5 in one of them. So I think because you already have a postgraduate diploma in management, PGDM, I'm thinking is the postgraduate diploma in management. Um, Ideally, you should next be looking at a master's because you already have a postgraduate diploma in management. And I would recommend either a master's or I would recommend another postgraduate diploma in management. But to be, excuse me, to be able to get into a postgraduate diploma in management, you need to get a 6.5 in IELTS with no score less than 6. So it looks like you are a little tied down because of your IELTS. So what I recommend is have a chat with our team, and we would like to get more details from you to see how to get some details about your PGDM and your bachelor's before that. But I think bottom line, you will have to write your IELTS again because a guy like you will need to go to another postgraduate diploma or a master's. That's my sincere recommendation and suggestion to you. But your current IELTS is not going to help. So speak to us, and we will talk to you and suggest how you can probably improve your IELTS. Okay? Maybe PTA is the answer. I've heard some people say that it's easier to crack the PTA than the IELTS. So probably that could be the answer. But we would like to discuss and talk to you. Okay? Cool. Farhan Ali says, Sir, I've done BSc Agriculture. Please tell me how I get a job in New Zealand. Farhan, you can't get jobs in New Zealand directly. It's almost impossible. You need to be present in the country. I have a very good video on YouTube, one of my most popularly viewed videos. It says, Can I get a job in New Zealand and a work visa? It is one of the most popular videos from my entire channel. Have a look at that. I've explained why it's almost impossible for somebody who is not present in New Zealand to try and find a job here in New Zealand. We need people in the agriculture sector because we are still a very strong agriculture orientated country. So it'll be good to attract talent like you. But when you're not in New Zealand and trying to find a job here, almost impossible. So watch that video. We will also connect with you and we will come back and uh, we would like to come back and suggest you the different pathways. Most likely, it has to be through study pathway. All right. So please do consider that. There is a question from somebody called Joel, who I remember I've been answering for I think over last couple of live sessions. So Joel, I will answer you if my team confirms that you are now working with them. But for the time being, I'm skipping your questions because I think I've already answered your questions the last couple of times. Team, if you're watching, please confirm to me if Joel is working with us, and then I'll come back to your question and answer that. Okay, cool. Mohit Pandey asks, what about the new proposal of New Zealand government for graduate diploma students? Because I'm planning to come this July. I've made a big video on this, Mohit. If you, it's like I said, it's only a proposal at this stage. If you're going to be here in July, this is June, and next month is July. So I don't think it will change by the time you arrive. So the old rules will apply to you. So nothing to worry about. Okay, cool. I hope Mohit is working with us, by the way. Mohit, if you're not working with AJV, still have time. Stop that bloody process and come and work with us. Jeffrey David asked me, Tim, just confirm to me about Jewel so that I can go back to a question. Jeffrey David asked me, how was job opportunities for grad diploma in operation and production management in New Zealand? Again, I think operation and production management, unless and until you have work experience and then coming for this course, I would strongly discourage people who don't have adequate work experience to come for this course. Uh, yeah, and yeah, I'm not sure you should be considering it, Jeffrey. And also, my team tells me that you're working with some other agency and not willing to change and work with us. So, unfortunately, we can't do more than I've just told you. If you are working with us, we will sit with you, analyze the whole thing, reanalyze the whole thing. But offhand, I can tell you, it doesn't look like a very good choice if you don't have enough work experience. Also, you seem to have a background in mechanical, so I wouldn't advise you to get into this, quite frankly. So stop the process with whoever you're working. Speak to us. We'll put some fantastic technical courses in front of you. We don't need managers. We need technical people. So I think it's very important, Jeffrey, you speak to us and work with us. Jatin Arora, hello, sir. I have done Bachelor in Arts and I want to do MBA. I want to know about which stream is best in MBA to do job after MBA. Okay. Jatin, again, I'm not a big fan of people, young people who want to jump into an MBA immediately after they complete their graduation or degree. So, from my experience, MBA is most useful after you have about 2 or 3 years of work experience. Especially in India, it's a trend for a lot of young people to finish their degree and then straight away jump into MBA. I don't think that's the right way to do it, except if you're getting into the top 5 or 10, institutions in India like the IAMs and those kinds of places. But otherwise, I don't recommend it. What I suggest is have a chat with us, connect with us. We might put some other options in front of you because you just done your bachelor's in arts, and again, arts is quite a vague sort of a area, subject area. So we will need to understand what your future aspirations are. But straight away into MBA with no experience, not recommended, Jatin. I would ask you to revisit. Okay, yeah, and speak to us. VV Tarun Kumar has joined. Hi, Tarun. Tarun is one of our students, brilliant young man studying at one of the best creative schools in New Zealand. Hope you're doing well, Tarun. It's been a long time since you called me. Yeah. Ram Arialis asks, I couldn't join your group because I had already processed an offer letter as came already. Feeling sad now, sir. Well, so I'm sorry to hear that, Ram. Because we do get a lot of young people who join here and then watch my videos or live broadcasts and interact with my team and say, "Oh, I really should I work with you guys?" If any of you watching this broadcast are working with other agencies and you think, "Hey, look, these guys seem to be good and they seem to be really invested into their students," make that conscious decision. We are not, obviously people who will catch hold of you by the collar and pull you in our direction. But if you have the common sense to understand that you should be working with a company that's based in New Zealand, and see, like how I'm speaking to you right now from New Zealand. After this call is over, I'm gonna pick up the phone and speak to at least 4 or 5 of my students who want advice, like that Tarun who I just said hello. If he has any queries, we'll continue to clear his queries and work with him. In fact, if Tarun can type and say how much we support him, it will be good because he does keep asking me a few questions and I keep clearing it for them. So that's what you guys will require after you land here. So if it's your choice, you want to work with an agency that's going to be in your country. After you get on a plane, you never see their faces again, or you work with an agency like AJV that's present in New Zealand that will continue to speak to you and guide you and support you after it. Your choice, guys. We will not force anybody. So it looks like Ram has already started his process. All the best, Ram. After you come to New Zealand, if you want further visa services, get in touch with us. We will offer that to all students. AJV students get a 25% discount on all the services that we offer on visa services after you land. So if you want a further work visa, we give a 25% discount on that. If you're reaching your resident visa, there's a 25% discount on that. And we have just started a new policy. All AJV students will get absolutely free processing of the post-study work visa. We took that decision about 2 weeks back, I think, or 10 days back. And so Tarun and the rest of the AJV students who are listening, after you complete your course, connect with us, connect with me, or connect with Mary, and we will do a free post-study work visa process for you. We will not charge any professional fees. Not only will we do your post-study work visa, we will also give you a free consultation and tell you what kind of jobs to look for, where to look for, how to look for, give you a format of a CV, give you a format of a cover letter, network you with some of our old students. We will do all that free of cost. And this is my challenge to other students who are not working with AJV. If your agency can provide all of those things, please continue to work with them. But if they cannot provide all these things, and plus, free immigration advice constantly, if your agency can't do that, you guys need to think twice. If you still have the chance to change, you must consider talking to us. Sachin Yadav, hello. I have one query that I have finished my level 7 and got my open visa as well till May 2019. So when I will apply for my post-study work visa, employer assisted, then I get visas for 2 year or for 1 year. Normally it is for 2 years. Again, Sachin is not one of our students, so I can't go beyond giving a very brief answer. If Sachin was one of my students, after this session, uh, uh, what I'll do is, I'll pick up the phone and talk and give much more detailed information. But for you, Sachin, all I can do is say that, yeah, most likely you will get a 2 year work visa when you get apply for your post study work visa employer assistant. If you need any help with that, connect with us and we will be able to provide you with good immigration advice and service. Okay. My team tells me, right, my team tells me that there are some people coming in for each live session repeatedly, and they're requesting that you please speak to the advisors you're already connected. So, what I would like to suggest to some of you who are already working with us and speaking to the AJB advisors, continue to speak to them individually because you will get all the attention and the questions you ask keep getting bumped up till such a time you get a proper answer. So sometimes they come all the way up to me. So guys who are already working with AJV team, continue to speak to your advisors. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for you to interact with me on this forum, but let's leave it open to the non-AJV people as well because they don't get as much attention as you guys. So you guys continue to speak to the team. Anytime you want an answer from me, tell the advisor you're speaking to, saying, "Hey, look, I want an answer from Arun specifically for this question. Demand it from your AJV advisor. They will send it up to me, and I promise you, I will answer that question. If it is a good, big, complex question, I will even make a video and answer it personally for you guys. Okay. So all of you already working with AJV, please request you to speak to your advisors and let's leave this forum a bit more open for other questions to come in. Okay. You guys already own me, so don't worry. You can ask as many questions as you like with your AJV advisor, and I will answer them as and when they come in. All right. Yeah. Soundarya has rephrased a question. I want to know if it is good to do a master's in a university or a PGDM in a university. Please also tell me how are the opportunities for recruitment consultants in New Zealand. I'll answer your second question first. Recruitment consultants are in good demand, definitely. And PGDM or a master's in university depends on whether depends on your IELTS score because I no I, actually hang on. Right. No, no. For level 8 and 9, the IELTS is the same. Sorry, so it's not the IELTS score. And whether you to do a PGDM or a master's depends because PGDM is really like the first year of a master's, So there are, I think a master's would have some more papers. So again, it'll come down to papers on that. Yeah. Have a look at the papers, see what appeals to you most. I know a master's looks good, as a certificate hanging on the wall, but it may not necessarily be the thing that you're looking for. So I don't know if you're working with us or not. Team, just confirm if Soundarya is working with us because if she is working with us, I think I would like to give a more detailed answer later once I also look at her background and the documents and the papers and everything. So what my asks from YouTube, 12th completed in 2014 due to some problem. I didn't complete my BTech, but now I want to complete my studies by doing bachelor's in New Zealand. Does this 4 year gap show any effect? Good question, What my good name. The we've worked with a lot of people with massive gaps. I think we worked with people with almost a 10, 12 year old gap. So gaps is not a problem we are concerned with. We want to know what you did in that gap, because that's exactly what the visa officer would want to know. So we would like to know what goes. So we are as good as visa officers, because our visa processing team is actually headed by a very strong immigration professional. And then there's of course myself and another senior manager who is also, I'm licensed, and the senior manager is about a month or 2 months away from getting a license. So we are a very strong visa processing team. In fact, I think we are probably one of the strongest visa processing teams around. So, yeah, share your documents with us, and we'll take a look. But gaps have not been a problem in the past for us. We've had problems with people who can't show finances properly, or they are not able to, get proper proof of their work experience, those kinds of things. But gaps is not really a problem. So speak to us and we will take care of it. Yeah. Dinesh Srivastava says, "Hi sir, what are the chances of getting job after completion of 1 year graduate diploma course in data analytics? And and does this fall under a long term shortage list? I'm asking for my son who is a JV student." Well, thanks, Mr. Srivastava, and thanks for letting your son to work with us. Much appreciated. Just like how you are a father, I'm also the father of three children, and I know exactly the kind of tension that must be at the back of your head. If your son has come to AJV, to New Zealand through AJV, in this live chat, I would like to assure you that he will continue to get the best advice possible. So please do not worry about him. You sit happily in your place and don't worry about your son. We are there. We are one phone call away at any time to assist him with any issues. Um, the chances of diploma, grad diploma in data analytics will be pretty good, because data analytics comes under ICT, which is information and communication technology, and there are good opportunities. And like you yourself have identified in the long-term skill shortage list. So, what your son will need to do is, I'm not able to recollect his name right now, but uh, what we will like to do is, once he's here, also get him in touch with some of our other senior students who have already taken up jobs in the IT industry, and they would also be able to give some inputs to him. And through a combination of his own efforts, his talent, and his intelligence, and our support and our networking, I'm sure he should be able to get there. All right. Thanks, Mr. Srivastava. Pedro Kiwi says, one step with the AJV team to reach my target. Absolutely, Pedro. Smart man. You chose AJV. Well done. Joel has asked a question again, but I still have no confirmation from my team if Joel is working with us. Joel, can you please confirm if you're working with us? And if you're working with us, please type the name of the advisor so that I can answer your question. Jeffrey David, I think I've already answered your question. Neeraj Joshi asks how much year gaps can be accepted preparing for IELTS, because I heard immigration makes years gaps. Immigration will make years gaps into issues if you don't explain it properly. So work with someone like AJV. We will talk to you and we will understand why the gap was there. Was it a? I mean, there's a gap for a reason. Everybody has got. Uh, if there was a gap, in my career, if suddenly next month I disappear doing this live videos and I come back 6 months later, there is a gap, and there will be a reason. Either I've gone around the world on a road trip, or which I want to do, by the way, guys, and or I've decided I'm going to go make a movie, which also I want to do, guys. So these are my two big bucket list things. So but gaps are not a problem if the reasons are explained to us, Neeraj. So speak to our team. Like I just said 3 minutes back, we are a very good visa processing team, and we'll sit and work with you, and we will put the genuine reasons saying, hey, look, and we are, and by the way, a lot of agencies advise students saying, oh, you have a gap, let's do one thing, let's put a fake document and cover that gap. Get a letter from your uncle or from your grandfather, or your somebody saying, oh, I have this boy he worked in my company as manager for something. They'll put the gap. Visa officers are not fools. They know how to spot these things, so they will call and they will check and ensure that they shred it down, because not just that letter. Because if you have genuinely been working for somebody for those 2 years, there will be bank statements to show the salary has been paid. If you have not been paid, if you say no, but they gave me cash, there should be income tax returns. But if there are no income tax returns and you're saying, oh, but I didn't pay income tax, then you're a fraud. Because if you're a guy who's earning money and not paying income tax in your country, immigration, New Zealand will straight away know that you're not an honest guy. So there's always a reason for gaps, and gaps can be explained very well and very scientifically, and we are very good at it. So speak to us, Neeraj, and we will absolutely love to assist you. Surya Prakash, hi sir, I've got admission for UG in a New Zealand college. Can I share tuition fee for 2 years and get visa for a 3 year course? Technically, it's possible, Surya Prakash, and we have seen this in the past. What they ask is to show um, funds for the first couple of years and then a plan of payment for the third year. But you will get a visa only for as long as you pay the fees. So you will not get a 3 year visa. If you pay for 2 years, you'll only get a 2 year visa. You have not mentioned whether you're working with AJV. It's a complicated case. I would strongly recommend you work with us, and we will make sure everything fits in and that we will present the right visa application to Immigration New Zealand. By the way, people, everybody watching, we last, as per the last statistics released by Immigration Department of New Zealand, we have an 89% success rate with our visa applications. I was personally not very happy with it. We had a discussion with my team and we said we will definitely go up to cross 90 and above. Some of the cases we thought probably we should not have taken up. In hindsight, we took cases from countries like Sudan and Yemen and Nigeria, I think, 3 or 4 countries where traditionally the visa success was low. So, but we said, okay, we'll take it up as a challenge because they seem to be genuine students. So we took those cases and we filed, but they got declined. Because of that, our percentage went down. But we are on 89%, guys. So we are a fantastic company to work with. We are very good. And I state in public broadcasts like this and in all my videos, we will never ever deal with anybody with fake documents, and we want people like you who are going to some other agencies who will encourage you to use fake documents. Please do not do it. Instead, talk to us. We will tell you whether it's possible to show the exact reasons for a gap or any other problem, and then based on that we will also recommend to you very strongly whether it is worthwhile for you to go ahead or not go ahead. We are not money minded people who will somehow make you into a client. We are not like that. If you have everything ready and you're a good person, a high quality person who can come to New Zealand, we will tell you. If you're not, we will also be honest and tell you, look, this is probably not a good idea for you, just stay away. So I know that's how we guys work, and we're very honest, straightforward, in your face, no hidden agendas, absolutely nothing. And as I keep saying, we will always put the interests and the happiness and the success of our students above the profits of this company. I promise you that in this public broadcast. Hoodie Evan, what is the minimum wage of New Zealand? I think it's gone up recently. It is now what, 1575, I think. Hoodie. Yeah, but just check, Google it and you'll get it. I think it's 1575 right now. Thankfully, I earn more than the minimum wage. So, by the way, guys, I charge $300 per hour for a consultation if it's a non AJV student. And AJV students who are all here in New Zealand, they get hours of consultation free from me. And yeah, these are all some of the advantages you guys will get. But somebody who's not a non-AJV student wants to speak to me and get my advice for an hour, I charge $300 per hour. So yeah. So you want some really serious specialist advice? Work with us. Okay, Jimmy Sandhu says, I'm already working with your staff for level 4 in aeronautical engineering, 2 years course. I want to take your advice about how our chances of finding a job offer and post-study work. Because I think, Jimmy, good course choice, good, interesting area. New Zealand also, I think, has got the highest number of planes per capita in the world. I think I remember reading that statistic somewhere. I could be wrong, but I think New Zealand has got highest number of planes per capita anywhere in the world. So, good course choice. You're coming for 2 years. So no problem, you will get your post-study work visa, and I think the job opportunities will be pretty good. Sendor Pandian, what is the best course for mechanical engineering in New Zealand? Which course has more jobs available in New Zealand? Mechanical engineering as a whole, Sendor, is in our long-term skill shortage area. If you break down mechanical engineering, of course, there will be subsets of that. So there could be CAD/CAM engineering, there could be mechatronics, there could be, various other breakdowns inside that mechanical engineering. It is, excuse me, very difficult to sit here and say which is the best course for mechanical engineering. I mean, obviously, if you have already done bachelor's in mechanical engineering, we would recommend to do a postgraduate diploma or a graduate diploma in mechanical engineering, and you'll have four or five different choices. Take a look at the different papers, and because there will not be carbon copies of each other. Each institution which is offering a level 7 or a level 8 or a level 9 mechanical engineering course will have different papers. So have a look at those papers, and then based on that is how you must pick and choose. So, for instance, if I had to do a postgraduate diploma in business, I would look for a course which has got papers in marketing, uh, digital marketing. I would pick strategic management. I would pick entrepreneurship. So those are my interests. That's how I would have picked those papers. And then of course I'd have taken a project which had to do with marketing or things like that. So depends on your personal interest. Mechanical engineering is a vast field, and your personal interest might be in a particular area of mechanical engineering like fluid dynamics or something like that. So I would like to talk to you, understand your background, your future interests. Based on that, we will make a recommendation. For all of you watching on YouTube who would like to connect with us, please fill the form which will appear below my video after the session is over. Or team, if you can post the form link to everybody in YouTube right now, and so that they can click through and send us the inquiry. All of you watching, please don't just watch and sit quietly in your homes and say, "Oh, it was a good session. We got a lot of information from this guy in New Zealand." But what next? What next is send us your contact number. We would like to talk to you. And as I keep saying in each of my broadcasts, we are not some sales devils who will then come behind you saying, "Oh, let's grab this guy and somehow make him into student." We have enough inquiries coming our way. But if you're sitting there at home and or on your mobile or wherever and watching this right now, you have a serious interest to come to New Zealand. That's why you're spending that time to watch a weird guy in a weird city in a coming to you live across the world. So I mean, obviously, you're watching it because I'm not some big film star or whatever. I'm just a guy who sits here in this office and gives information and advice about how you can genuinely and legally and in a positive manner enter New Zealand. So, if you like what I'm saying, you will need to please make that effort to send us your contact number, or send me an inbox message on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, send an email to info@ajvglobal.com with your CV. We will pick it up. So, you guys will need to make an effort, like how I make an effort twice a week to sit here and talk to you and give you a lot of information and answer all your queries. Please come back to us. Give us the courtesy of at least being saying hello to you over the phone. Share your contact number and we'll come back to you. All right. So Rahil says, "Sir, I'm still not understanding about the new immigration rules." Like I said, Rahil, it's still not a new rule. Don't worry about it. And but watch my video. I made a video, and it is sitting there on my YouTube channel, which I think I made about 1 week back. So it's nothing to understand at this point. It's not a new rule. It's still being discussed, and it's going to take some time. So don't worry, guys. It's like what is how do you say it? It is like I'm trying to think of the right proverb. Uh, I can say a few things, but probably not very right to say on a live chat. But but no, don't get stressed. Thinking, imagining the future. Live in the moment. Okay. I'm trying to say quickly if I can answer one or two last questions. And okay, guys, there were tons of questions today, by the way, which is great. So I'm going to try and pick up one or two questions, two last questions before I wind up because I can't go beyond an hour. The throat really starts giving up, and which is why I have to drink this stuff, which by the way is green tea. If some of you wonder what does this guy have in his big cup, it's green tea. Okay, Gautam Chabra asks me, "Hi Arun, I'm working with your team. Does level 7 supply chain management or applied management is better? I have a work experience of for 5 years as credit analyst and business analyst employed with MX. Gautam, if you don't have a background in supply chain, I don't think that is the right thing for you because supply chain is a specialized area. You're probably jumping into supply chain because it sits there in the long-term skill shortage list. I have explained this all again before and in some of my videos as well. Saying don't just go behind a course that is sitting in the long-term skill shortage list because it's not necessarily always the thing that will work for you. From what you've described that you're working with MX as a business analyst, I think more regular business courses, applied management, I think probably is a better choice for you, Gautam. So that's my recommendation. Buran Shokat, hello sir, I'm interested in New Zealand. So am I, Buran. What are we supposed to do next? Okay, cool. Anyway, Buran, just connect with our team and we'll tell you all the pathways. Mohit asks, do you have agents in Mumbai? Because it would be pretty difficult to connect with someone who is not in your country during visa. Oh, like I told you, Mohit, we have 25 people working in India, and I think half of them work out of Mumbai. So please connect with us, and we'll connect you to a person in Mumbai. Absolutely, yeah. In fact, my team is right now also participating in this in the background. They're all on Skype, and that's how they keep giving me information about each of the people who are coming onto the chat. So looks like I have reached the end of this particular chat. And for Rahil and Krishna Kumar and Betsy Saji and Tony Thomas and Midun, Ravok, and everybody else who has just joined in and has some questions. Sorry, guys, I'm not able to go on, but we will connect with you and we will answer those questions. And some instances, I will get back online. I mean, and not online, but I'll make a video and answer some of your questions. But thanks as always for watching my live chats, and I'm actually beginning to enjoy this quite a lot now. I mean, so much appreciated. And please spread the word around with your family and friends. Let them know that there is a guy from New Zealand called Arun Jacob who comes live on Facebook and YouTube twice a week and sits and talks for an hour every time about how you can migrate to New Zealand through education pathway or directly if you have certain number of points. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my side for today. And till the next time, Kakite Ano from Hamilton, which is see you later from Hamilton. Good night.